Right, hello, hopefully it notifies people that I'm on. I've tried changing some of the streaming settings to hopefully stop it crashing out with YouTube as often, but if it's like a server crash at the YouTube end that does it partway through the stream, there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, I'm ready for dream time, Mr. Chris.
Just turn the game volume down a little bit actually. Your options. What's the volume to put that down to 4? So when I was last doing this, the video conked out, and because I didn't think to save the game before quitting, it ended up causing me to lose a load of progress. So I've had to do a bit of stuff off the stream to get back to roughly where I was, but oh well. Right, hopefully we'll have people on, otherwise this is going to be a pretty boring stream, isn't it? Alright, Spooky. Yeah, I like the Bioshock games. Like I said before, I don't really like Bioshock Infinite, but I like the first two. So, alright. So, yeah, anybody that watched the last Bioshock stream where it crashed out, what I ended up doing was, while not on stream, going back and getting all the stuff to the same point as it was during the stream. So it shouldn't look that different from where the last one cut out to where this one started. But the main difference is obviously I haven't had to go back and do it all on stream. And I've also done a couple of like little sisters while, as in like rescued some little sisters, killed some big daddies while I wasn't streaming. So my character's a bit of a higher level. Can you actually go through here yet?
You got the chlorophyll. What else do you saturnine swamp? Leave me alone or I'll stick my turrets on the whole damn lot of you.
I can't go in there yet. Right, well, it wasn't actually Bioshock that crashed, it was the YouTube streaming server. So I've lowered the bitrate a little bit on this one, but I don't know if it'll help. Because obviously if YouTube's server dies for about 20 seconds, it will just kill the stream. So yeah, I'll do this for about an hour and just get, you know, as much done as I can in that period. Oh, thank you very much, Mike, as well. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, that'll be good when that arrives. I've actually got a proper day off tomorrow, which will be nice, but I won't be on YouTube. I'm having the entire day out, you know, to just have this like a single day holiday.
It wasn't you, was it? No. Right. I think I've got a way to save the trees. It's a genetic vector that... Who am I talking to? Could you find a sample of Rosa Gallica for me? Look in the grotto. I've got to keep working one last time.
If you got a question, ask it. Alright, yeah, Peach. Yeah, I need to cut my hair pretty soon because it's just getting, you know, fairly long and getting in the way, and where it's like hot days, it ends up just smelling sweaty and horrible until you get a chance to wash it, so, What do you mean, but it isn't? You haven't typed the question, YouTube's hidden it. And, a fair price for shims, that should still be about £30 or dollars, but I doubt you're going to get the complete kits of them and like the filters and the hoses and all that for that sort of price.
Up in leaves and call themselves the Saturnine. Please. They drink human blood and chant, harness the flame, harness the mist, and believe they're touched by the ancient gods. An aging bunch of frat boys tilting back goblets of plasmids and calling it ambrosia.
Yeah, nearly everything's gone up in price, Peach, just due to inflation, but I suppose masks specifically because of COVID and now them worries of like chemical war and it. Yeah, like, there's a lot of things in this game which are kind of technically wrong, but I still like it because it's quite stylised. Where am I actually going to? Ah, I see down there, not actually into that little cave. Yeah, I assume you can't get into these caves before, because I imagine the plants are blocking the entrances. I do like the active camouflage thing, because them being not able to see you is quite helpful. Again, lots of your questions aren't coming through, Caesar, so I don't know what you're talking about. YouTube's hiding some of your comments. I assume you're asking if you breathe through something dangerous or whatever from the comments I can see. But unless I know what filter it was or whatever, I don't know. But I'd say you're probably fine, just don't keep breathing through a dodgy filter. Because I doubt that, you know, a few minutes breathing through a filter is really going to have done you any harm, but I wouldn't actually risk it for, you know, no reason. Alright, Peach. Yep. Yeah, I keep wanting to go back and play New Vegas, but I suppose that's just because New Vegas is really well made.
I can smell something.
Should we try and take down this Big Daddy?
Mr. Webb.
Am I getting more pictures then?
Keep it out for me.
Right, I might as well do a quick save now and then see, oh, is you on about the M1 filter, whatever it's called, for the Yugoslav M1/M59? Yeah, that's probably not a good idea to breathe through that, but I doubt you've done any harm. But yeah, most 60mm filters weren't really safe because they're all from, you know, the 1950s or earlier, for the most part. The Finnish M61 filter is probably the only one that was actually built to a nice standard. Let's see how much damage the wrench actually does to the Big Daddy. suppose I could do the hypnotise Big Daddy thing to start with and just get him to waste some of his health on splicers. Die too easily, that's the point. It depends which mask it was and which uniform it was, but I mean, if you've got trousers and a jacket and all that, that's probably better value than the mask is normally. They actually follow you around for a lot longer than I thought they did. The hypnotise Big Daddy thing. How good there's freedom. I just don't know if because I've got the invisible thing on, they'll actually aggro. Come on, fight back, you Phil. Yeah, I think they're too distracted smashing up that corpse. Still that with gene bank for now. Yeah, I assume not USD for that amount of money. Oh, that's cool, Caesar. Right, storing gene bank. Right, anything interested in this machine? Still coming with it. Hopefully they might end up fighting each other again. Yeah, what range does that one do hype? I'm saying I'm looking forward to that one I'm getting to have a play about with it.
Ground security around here. We need more hacks. Everyone can be better that way.
Alright, Tommy. That's a really nice range on it then. So 50,000 microsieverts, yeah, 5 millisieverts, isn't it? Sorry, more than 5 millisieverts, 5 sieverts. Yeah, annoyingly, yesterday at work was really, really busy, so I'm still quite knackered from that.
You're crawling with thieves!
We don't talk about stuff like that on here, Caesar, because you get all the creepy doxing people on. But the point is, it was really busy. In this, I quite like the B one you get a bit further into the game, although with some of them they're a bit like situational, aren't they? I mean, obviously the electroshock one and like the flame one is probably the most practical, and then you've got some of the others that are kind of like more fun, but they seem to really vary how well they work or not.
Now, I'm a woman of science, but I'm also a woman who's not afraid of turning a buck or two. Ryan said if I could boost profits in Arcadia, part of the output would ride on my hip. So I get to thinking, we're paying for oxygen when we got photosynthesizing trees. Hell, we can even sell the extra to the rest of the city and undercut the other guys. Ryan was like that for sure. Fontaine's people have moved into the O2 biz, tooth and claw.
Alright, Stug. Yeah, hornets are horrible creatures, like wasps. Like, I'm sure evolutionary-wise, you know, there is a purpose to them, but I don't like them. Alright, see you, Sikkim. Alright, Rich. For the people that were on last time this stream crashed out, I have played with some of the settings for like how it streams to YouTube to see if it helps. But obviously if the YouTube server fully crashes out for like 10 seconds or whatever, it will just kill any of the streams that are on there. Yeah, I suppose that's cool, but yeah, hornets are not nice creatures. Right, so I was going to see if I could beat one to death with a wrench, just for the laugh and see if it works.
Hi, Mr. B.
The wrench isn't too bad damage against him, saying that. Let's use something a bit more efficient. Oh crap, I broke my security camera. Oh, there you got me. I should just probably use all my armor piercing rounds and the Tommy gun, that would be a bit more efficient. Right, hopefully he's still around and I can just quickly go finish him off. Yeah, I like the classic bouncers because they look like the old diving suits. I mean, I know they all look like diving suits, but the League ones I don't like the look of. It's kind of a shame with the classic bouncer, it's only in like 2 levels of the game. There we go. I think I might own Hollow Knight, but I don't think it's the sort of game I'd actually like that much.
Thank you.
Oh, what was this? Were you on about the Danish M49 or something else? Sorry. Yeah, I've used up a lot of health packs, so I'm not big deal.
You brought the Rosa Gallagher? What are you waiting for? An engraved invitation? Send it through the new boat. Yes, this is perfect. Perfect. Come on up to my office. I'm letting you in now. I think I've got just the thing to put the green back in this forest. witch hazel, chlorophyll solution, even my back issues of National Geographic. They're feathering their disgusting little shrine with it, I suppose. Sick bastards.
I definitely prefer the second game to Infinite. Alright, see you, Hype. Have a good day. Like I said, I'm just planning after doing the stream of not doing much today because I've already done a load of stuff this morning, and like I said, yesterday at work was just stupidly busy.
Money changed hands. Let me read to you from the agreement. Section 3, subsection 4.
Mr. Ryan.
Ryan Industries maintains exclusive rights to the creation, use, and exploitation of the Lazarus vector. Ownership is civilization.
Wait, no, please.
Out into the smoke.
Yeah, I prefer the DLC to the base game.
Every time we get a yard ahead, Ryan goes and moves the goal line down to the other side of the field.
But yeah, it's fine to breathe through the Yugo M1 mask, just probably not the filter, because again, it's an old filter, they're not going to be that structurally intact. 9457. Something just fell over and I don't know what it was.
What's the point of being a damn genius if the only ones around to appreciate it are a bunch of spliced
Yeah, sounds good, Rich.
morons? I've cracked the vector, or at least I'm 99% certain I have. I just need the blood of Rosa Gallica to confirm my analysis. Distilled water, a bit of chlorophyll, and enzymes extracted from Apis mellifera. That's right, sweetheart. Honeybee spit.
But yeah, so it's just, with old masks, the problem is that even if the filter didn't have anything dangerous in it, when filters get old and break down, especially if they weren't made to a really good standard to begin with, what ends up happening is that the, you know, you risk just breathing whatever's in the filter in, and even if that just ends out to be like paper and coal dust, it's not going to do your lungs any good. Oh, the MC1 is the Polish mask, isn't it? But I don't know what the other bit is you're on about with the MC1. One's not very recent. Ideally, I want to hack these rather than destroying them. Oh yeah, I have researched a thing at least that lets you auto-hack a turret once you disable it, which is really useful. Just because a bit later on there's bits where the enemies will keep coming back through here, so it's quite useful to have all the turrets in it. Yeah. Oh, the Yugo MC1. Oh, I know, the one that's like the M1 but without the oral nasal on it. But no, I don't actually have an MC1, I've just got the M1. What's the LPD?
out new tricks. This batty plant woman spends 4 years coming up with ways to defoliate trees in the Pacific to scare out the Japs, and now here I am, down at the bottom of the Atlantic, trying to figure out how to do the same thing in reverse. Atom. It's bathtub gin times the atom bomb times Eve with a serpent. Let's go see what it can do.
Arcadia's a big place, but mostly rural. If you're looking for something in particular, I'd start at the farmer's market.
There's only 2 little sisters in this level, so that's done. So I'll do a save in case it crashes again. But we're 30 minutes in and it's still working, so that's a good sign. It still seems to be, before, like, sometimes you could stream and it'd be fine, and other times it wouldn't. Oh, how it's a beating machine. Right, I'm probably just want to do the machine gun one, seeming as they seem the actual best things at killing big daddies, although the chemical throwers of the electro gelin are meant to be really good at killing big daddies, aren't they, if I remembered. Let's just do consumption rate for the chemical thrower. I'm assuming he's tried to type a response into Y, but it's just YouTube's now blocking all the words from the response. See ya, Sigma. Because YouTube just randomly blocks lots of words for some reason, and they don't ever give you a list of the words they block.
What makes something like me? I look at genes all day long, and never do I see the blueprint of signal. I could blame the Germans, but in truth I did not find poor mentors in the prison camp, but kindred spirits. These children I brutalized have awoken something inside that for most is beautiful and natural, but to me is an abomination. I'm a terrible instinct.
It depends, because I've got a couple of, like, fairly rare masks, so they're expensive in the sense you can't get them very easily. Such as the C7, but they're not very good masks, they're just rare. And then I've got things like a Canadian C4, which are pretty damn hard to get hold of and normally go for quite a bit of money. I'll do a proper save here, seeing as we're on the next level. Although it looks like it does an auto-save anyway when you go through a loading screen.
Julie, my dear, I am trying to run a business here. You want to spend time with my honeybees? Well, I'm gonna have to start charging you for the pleasure. If I come out one more time and find you lolling out there amongst my hives, I'm grabbing my shotgun. Answer your question? Yes. My days in beekeeping school are a blur. But I do seem to remember something about that
Yeah, Amrich, same thing with the German masks. Lots of German World War II masks go for far more value than they're actually worth. Stand here a moment until all the explosions stop going off. Oh, actually that was a turret. I thought it was a Big Daddy then that was doing that. That was shocking, wasn't it? What was that? Even 2. Yeah, I think 1 equipped, so we're storing the gun here. There's 1 little sister in this level, right? What's even shooting at me?
I shall never.
So where's that camera? Picture of it before destroying it. Alright, Nick. Oh, so basically it's just full of chemicals. It's like a decon powder or something. So yeah, one of the words to do with chemicals are like poison. YouTube blocked for like it's obviously people are up to no good if they talk about that stuff.
The children, they're very lonely.
Yeah, I used to have an M9 in the can. I opened it, which I know a lot of people think is like absolutely horrible, but it was back when they were really, really common. If I'd have managed to get another one at the same price, you know, like back then, I'd have probably kept one in the can and just opened one.
Fontaine's is on it. We all pull it and are pulled by it. Yes, these children are an abomination. But it is not my hand alone on the chain that created them. No. Their little fingers were right there, next to mine.
Yeah, so it's, yeah, just decon powder. Yeah, some of those can be quite nasty. Obviously, they're much better than being covered in chemical weapons, though, aren't they? That's the point of them. Can I get any more pictures of them? Or... Now then, going around with a camera photographing little girls. What's wrong with that, then? Eh?
In 10 years in this dump, I've come to accept a very low standard of life. But even at the bottom of this fish tank, a man must have standards. The pathetic Trudeau down at Morley Winery has started putting water to his terrible wine. Water! When I confronted him with this fatty, he tells me, Pierre, this is not to worry. The water, she is distilled. It could be worse. I could take it right from the ocean.
Please, get away, please!
Oh no, the bees are attacking me now. Ah, the bees! The bees! As in the modern one or the older one? See that? Well, the 4A one is a more practical mask, because it's more modern, but the S6 is cooler, I'd say. Like I said, I've got both, but if you wanted to buy one, you know, to use, I'd say the Shalom mask, just because it's actually like, you know, a mask still in production. Was into production until very recently. Whereas the S6 is like from the 50s and 60s, well, up to the 80s, because that was when the S10 replaced it. Right, physical tonic slot, yeah, having one of those. Yeah.
Adam acts like a benign cancer, destroying native cells
Yeah,
and
not the bees.
with unstable stem versions. While this very instability is what gives it its amazing properties, it is also what causes the cosmetic and mental damage. More and more Adam just to keep back the tide. From a medical standpoint, this is catastrophic. From a business standpoint, nothing sees the possibilities.
Let's get out of there for now. So that turns back on. Or off even. I don't know if there was an S7 or an S9, but there's an S8. But the S8 is literally like the S10's lenses on an S6. So it was basically kind of like, here's an S6 that's better for use with scopes, but at the same time probably, you know, really hurts your field of view. But I don't think it had many other differences at all. They're actually really rare S8s. I've seen one, I think Bovington Tank Museum has one in like an exhibit there on like tank room gas masks of like, you know, World War II, like World War I, World War II to the modern day. And it's got like some prototype masks in there, but yeah, they were just really uncommon, I guess, because all it was is literally get a mask you've already got and change the lenses on it slightly. I have a feeling, Rich, it might have been the S10, and then I think when they did Hunk's mask in later games, they changed it a bit more to look, you know, a bit more out there. Well, I can't remember without looking back, but it was definitely either an S6 or an S10. It was one of those sort of British sort of Cold War masks the mercenaries had. Yeah, I was saying, sometimes you can just get lucky though with rare masks, you know, just in the sense that somebody will put one up and just want to sell it or doesn't know what it's worth. You know, so it'll go for massively under the price you'd expect for it.
A rapture reminder. The bottom of the ocean is our home, but it can also be this.
Why do they wear those masks? Maybe there's a part of them that remembers how they used to be, how they used to look. And they're ashamed.
Alright, let's just try and counter. gonna buy that out for $80. Probably like £20 if that. They're not worth much at all over here, but that doesn't mean the price of them won't go up. But at one point, when you could get like the Finnish M61s, you know, the American M9s, all those style of masks, they were like the cheapest option of that type. If it's in the US though, that might be a good price, because I know normally people in the US say they can never like find them for like, unless they're well over $100. So if that's actually in the US, I'd probably go for that, if like they aren't, you know, at reasonable prices full stop. Because even if you found a UK seller with it for 30 like pounds to dollars, you know, like $30 to $40 price, with the shipping and tax on it, it's still going to end up a lot more expensive. Oh, it's the Pac-Man one, look. The M9 mask depends what it costs, because again, the M9 is a cool mask, but unless it's with all of its accessories, I'd say no, because you don't want to like rely on an M9 anymore because of how old they are. Right, in a minute I'll get that Big Daddy and a little sister. Right, so do I have any of the electric one yet? No. Okay, let's just get their pictures before I go on, just to get the research done a bit more. It's the last level you actually get rosies on, isn't it? So if I don't, the regular rosies anyway, unless I get all their pictures now. I'll have to just literally come back to this level just to get pictures. It was just literally on eBay. Like I said, sometimes you just luck out and people sell them on eBay. Let's try the electric button. That works quite well, I guess. Maybe I should have just upgraded the shotgun with the electric button. Well, the inside of what particular model filter? Most filters, like modern ones, a heap of paper and impregnated charcoal. Older masks can have all sorts of weird stuff in them, like, you know, asbestos, you know, chemicals soaked into charcoal to try and make it stronger. I doubt you can get an S6 so very cheaply. They're not normally cheap masks.
Thank you.
Oh, photographer's eye. That's useful. So I've got photographer's eye 2, but I suppose I might as well have number 1 as well. So. Electric bucks as well. I was saying, either be scared or don't be scared, but if you've already worn it, you can't change anything about it now, so I don't know why you'd be scared. Well, there's a direct... don't really seem to get any set of spoilers on it. Yeah, see, I wouldn't worry about it. Just don't do it again. And again, I said it's the filter, not the mask. Come on, I just want to get some more pictures of you, Rosie. There's apparently an area I didn't look in down there. Let's just check it. There's another power to people. Glad I didn't miss that. Right, let's do shotgun damage increase. Which is the bit I didn't go for. Right, now we've done the entire basement.
Would you kindly get this thing crafted already?
Would you
Air's
kindly-
only getting thinner down here. From the sounds of that you invented, I'm guessing you're the proud papa of a brand new Lazarus vector. Now drop the vector into a gadget called the Central Misting Control.
Now, it's a similar argument, I think, Caesar, to the thing of Ukrainians saying they don't like Russian stuff anymore for an obvious reason. I could completely understand it. Houdini splicer in, isn't it? We do try and not have politics on these streams though, just for an obvious reason, just because, you know, there'll be people that have no involvement in that will get upset if it gets mentioned, you know. So I can completely understand where you're coming from, but saying these streams aren't really the right place to bring stuff like that up. I know it's going to wait for the fire to go up. What question was it on your alt? Because I might not necessarily have blocked you. You do know, like I said, if you asked weird things on YouTube, well, not weird, but you know, like I was saying about, is this safe, does this have asbestos, whatever, YouTube just often blocks those words. Because literally, if you said something like, is this thing safe, I wouldn't have blocked you for saying that. Where's the ones I can research? No, I have to have the other photos on.
Why have you forsaken me?
Searching.
I send you praise!
You meant to have come out of there, all the beta chambers and standing near it.
Don't fight the inevitable. Fire the oxygen soon, okay? Just go to sleep.
I'm actually hiding. Yeah, there we go. Can't see me. I'm getting pretty tired of this. There you go. I didn't block your other channel, but I have blocked you now because, again, don't come on and start accusing me of stuff, you know. Then I answered your questions, but apparently no, that's not good enough. Start accusing me of stuff. Sorry, what the best deal, Dibley? You have to list all the masks again. If you'd listed some masks, I don't think your comment showed up. The M9 with the filter in the bag, what was the price? 30 USD, that's pretty good for that, yeah. Yeah, Peach, it was somebody that was just asking questions, like normal questions through most of the stream, so they seemed alright, and then they suddenly started, after I answered their question, going, well, why did you block my other account when I asked these questions? And I hadn't, but they were being insistent on it. And I hadn't, but saying if you have that sort of attitude, that is going to get you blocked. Because again, a lot of the time, this is what really annoys me, is YouTube blocks certain words. People can't say them. Like, it's not me that's even made this list, it's like asbestos, I think, it's on the words on the list now, you can't say on YouTube. And if you say it too many times in comments, I think it just does, like, block you from a channel, or, like, shadow ban you from a channel. But then those people blame you for doing it. They're like, why are you deleting my comments? Why are you deleting my comments? I'm like, I'm not. But again, like I was saying, that's the really annoying thing, is you will get that on YouTube, where there's channels like you've never actually seen them before, and then they're like, oh, you blocked my alternative channel. It's like, for what? And they can never tell you why. Oh no, you just blocked me. It's like, to be honest, I barely get time to even read the comments on those videos now, and like reply to them, so the chance that people are getting blocked unless they're just saying something really racist or whatever in a comment is pretty low. I need to see if I can do that thing again, so you have to have been subscribed for a while to actually comment, because that actually does stop a lot of these people coming on with, you know, like, just making accounts and saying, oh, you blocked me for something, and I haven't. Alright, hopefully it's not going to crash the stream out, but I'm near the end of this one. The GP5 and NATO filter won't fit it, so there's no point going for that one. I go with the M9. It's more interesting mask than the GP5. Is that a Rosie I've not photographed? Good. Alright, there we go. Subject research is completely good. That's all the Rosie stuff done then. Yeah, M9 all the way, to answer your question. Yeah, see you, Peach. Have a good time. I'll be off in about 3 minutes anyway.
Back in the 20s. On the Jap city team. But I never brought one back. Listen to the damn thing gurgle and crack. How long is it gonna take?
It seems Julie's death didn't provide a clear enough lesson to you. Perhaps this will suffice.
Oh yeah, exactly, Nick. This is the thing, because I've had times before where somebody might have been accidentally blocked for whatever reason, but because they say, oh, it was this comment on this video, I can actually go back and check that. And sometimes it's just somebody was on a live stream, they said something that a mod thought was trolling and got timed out or blocked when they probably didn't mean it. That's fine. I don't have a problem with you, Dibley, because you're not saying I blocked you. Yeah, if there's an S10 size 2 and you're in the US for like $60 or less, I'd say go with the S10, just because it's going to be harder to find one of those at a good price. Right, size 2 on the S10 is the second largest size. So size 1 is really big, size 2 is like medium large, size 3 is, oh, I was a switch, I don't know. Am I just go invisible here? Yeah, I can literally easy then. The straps are adjustable, but the internal sizes aren't. So it's basically like, but yeah, you can tighten it to your face, but for most people, size 2 or size 3 is the size you want. There's going to be very, very few people that actually want a size 4. Just put it over here so the door explodes a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that does happen. Again, like you say, Rich, you do sometimes get that, where somebody does something that deserves a block, and then they whinge about it. Like, the one that annoys me is when people keep bringing up politics when you ask them not to. Because Mike's had this exact issue. You give them loads of warnings, they won't stop, so they get blocked, and they keep coming back with different accounts saying, "Why did you block me? Why did you block me?" Size 2 and size 3 are the most common for buyers, yeah, because they're basically the medium sizes.
Oh, don't worry, darling, they'll be back.
Still got my security box I can picture. Yeah, if you can get a size 2S10 at a good price, I'd say go for that, especially if you're in the US, just because I know they're a lot harder to get in the US, because I always get asked about that. It might be, Nick, but there also might be the ones that you keep seeing for the least amount of price, because sellers have to drop the price for them, if that makes sense. Like, I know a lot of people that did either, like, Air Cadets or Army Cadets got, like, free size 4, you know, not free as in free each, but they got them for free. Didn't have to pay for them. Size 4S10s, just because, like, they weren't really any good for the Army. So they obviously had loads of them in at barracks and that, so they just gave them to the kids as, like, a freebie for doing the cadets. I assume I just have to get all these guys killed, right? It's like, normally I wouldn't have had the invisible thing most of the times I'd have played this originally, so... But I know with the GSR it's a thing where you can often get the GSR size free really cheap, or the small, whatever you want to call it, because just because most people don't want that size, even though I found this small actually fits me better with those than these larger ones do. But I know, I think they used to do a similar thing with some of the old DPM uniforms, like with the cadet stuff. Oh look, that person's back again. Right, I've got rid of them. Only when their comments are shown, because again, he's typing stuff that's obviously YouTube's blocking. Yeah. And if we assume that this was apparently the first account that I blocked, obviously that wasn't blocked, was it? Because we could see it there. But if you'd have multiple accounts with the exact same name, it probably means you're using them for no good. I'm just saying, because I don't need like 10 accounts to go on YouTube with to, like, you know, harass people essentially, but that's what it is. But, oh dear. Yeah, like, I can understand it for that, because I have some old accounts I don't use that, you know, used to be on different subjects of video. But then it was actually a lot more effort logging into different accounts to upload the right video to it than, you know. You're right near the end of the stream, I'm afraid, Agony. You might still see somebody come back again with another, like, fake account to start harassing you. That's been about the most excitement on the era of playing a game. Yeah, but I've had that before, Rich, with several people on Discord, and they're normally the ones that get the shittiest when they get banned. And again, a lot of the time with that, it's like they don't get like a ban just handed out. They often get warnings to like stop first, you know. Like, that's really offensive, you know. It's probably not a good idea to be posting that. You've got a warning, you know, not a ban. And they just carry on, because it's the sort of thing with some people of, oh, because you're telling me not to do it, and I'm going to do it, kind of attitude.
Well done, lad. Take a deep breath and enjoy it. Then head over to Rolling Hills and get the bathysphere. Next stop is Ryan's house.
Afraid of what? Right, the next level is the best one in the game, so I'll save when I get to the start of Fort Fork in a minute, and then we'll do a stream specifically for that level. I don't get what you're on about, Agony.
Why are you so resistant to the traditional methods of separating man from his soul? You're not CIA, are you? You belong to Atlas, the one roach I can't seem to exterminate. Don't worry. I just need time to find the proper poison. I believe in no God, no invisible man in the sky. But there is something more powerful than each of us, a combination of our efforts, a great chain of industry that unites us. But it is only when we struggle in our own interest that the chain pulls society in the right direction. The chain is too powerful and too mysterious for any government to guide. Any man who tells you different either has his hand in your pocket or a pistol to the neck.
Yeah, generally the title of the stream when I'm playing a game is this game. So Fort Fork, the best level in the game, but I'll save it as soon as the level starts and then do it. Won't get a chance tomorrow, probably Wednesday. I know, Nick, but I think the problem is a lot of older games are just better than new ones. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of newer games I play, it's just often I don't feel like streaming those. Just I don't think they're as good in terms of interest to people to watch it. If you want a very quick rundown, Agony, before I go off, it was somebody that came on that was completely fine to start with. We were talking about gas masks. And then he suddenly went on a tirade about how I blocked him. And I said, like, when was it? You know, all this, wouldn't answer it. And because I didn't actually like being accused of that, then I did block him just because he got quite aggressive. And then he came back to start complaining about it again with an alternative account. And then a lot of the chat at that point just evolved into, like, why would you know, you come on the stream, be fine for most of it, and then start getting funny with people. Yeah, I mean, the TF1, it might be in good condition, it might be in bad condition because of, you know, quality standards of them making them. But For £10, I'd say go for it. Oh, you can get the full map out from here. Oh yeah, you can, even though you've not done any of the level yet. Anyway, I'll end the stream here because, as said, I'll do all of this level on a separate stream because it's probably the best level in the game. But, anyway, see everybody when I see you. Like I said, it'll probably be Wednesday at this point.